What's going on, YouTube world and YouTube tribe? Welcome back to the LilBigMan Gaming, bringing you a review for a very good episode of DC's Legends of Tomorrow, episode 14, called There Will Be Brood. Now, to set the stage, this is an episode that was Spooner heavy. As you're about to see from the synopsis, you're going to understand why it was very Spooner heavy. At least part of it. So, like I said, the synopsis. When Astra and Spooner find themselves as stowaways, they learn that Constantine is still chasing the Fountain of Imperium. Spooner learns some information about her past that she wasn't expecting. Yeah, this was a heavy Astra and Spooner episode, because this episode, it had some big revelations, some big everything. This came all to a head. It reveals the one mystery about Spooner's past that we didn't know. So the episode starts off where when we ended last episode, Silence of the sonograms. That's what it was called. Silence of the sonograms. Where John Constantine, basically his other side, basically beat the hell out of him and took over. We see that John Constantine. We get to everybody running into John Constantine's house, because if you didn't see it in the last, towards the end of the last episode, they figured out that John Constantine was the one that Bishop stole the comms for. He figured out that Constantine was the most weakest. So he and he found out that Constantine actually, what Constantine wants is relatable to his plan. So Constantine ends up he's still in the house. They all confront him about where Bishop is, and Constantine basically tells her that he's gonna take care of Bishop. Don't they worry, they pretty little heads. He basically started taunting them, like, cause they were saying, whatever he asking you to do, you don't have to do, because you're a part of the family. We all love you and care for you and all that type of stuff. But he said he would bust them, say he was never really part of their group. He was never really a legend. He said he walked his path best alone. I think he said something again that he kept repeating in his phrase. Yeah, I think in that whole conversation he repeated something like a couple of times. And Bayrad's sister, I keep forgetting her name. I remember Spooner's and then can't remember Bayrad's sister's name. Come on, come to me. Zari. There you go, Zari. So Zari notices that John kept saying the same thing, but in different ways. So they realized that the John that's standing in front of them was almost like a hologram, or in this case, astral projection. Constantine, and they swipe that on, and he turns to dust. And the real Constantine is actually on the ship with Bishop, already free, and they rewire Gideon so that Gideon and the comms will be down, and they couldn't communicate with each other. They tried to chase after, but it was too late. Constantine has taken the ship along with Bishop to where the location of the Fountain of Imperium is located. They know, thanks to Bishop and his study of aliens, he knows the alien language to read the map, and I think Constantine used like a spell to make a cell level of the map appear to where Bishop could read, and he knew that he knew where to go to, and they went to Odessa, Texas. I did in the early 1900s, and they realized when they get there, they don't realize that not all the legends were at John Constantine's house. That Astor, like I said, Astor and Spooner was stowaways. They because they had no idea what was going on. They didn't even realize that Gideon and them was being hijacked until they felt like they knew they was in the time stream. So they tried to call the other guys. They called Gideon, but nobody was answered. They realized the con was down. They hear they hear John and Bishop. So they realized John and Bishop must have did something, and ends up following them to Texas, where Bishop and them goes look for their following the Imperium. Astra and Spooner, searching for them. They run into somebody close to Spooner. This would lead Spooner down. Spooner realized that just from a gut feeling, it's a gut feeling. She realized that, hey, this is somebody that I know. It's somebody close to me, and she automatically knows who this person is. There's also a sub story about this person involved with like a mobster like guy who's buying up all the land, and he's threatening this person to sell their land. This person's land, the last remaining land, is a big land too, but this person refused to sell the land. Then we get back to the other legends. They trying to figure out a way. They trying to figure out how to get to Constantine and stop him from doing something stupid, and to save him from Bishop and stop Bishop from doing whatever he's trying to do. They realized Sarah realizes that their time ship wasn't the only time ship, and that they end up realizing that Kayla has a time ship, but they need a way to contact her. So they fake like a baby picture with Rory, so that she will come to their rescue. And they use like an intergalactic like ring that acts like a computer that could post to the alien version of what would be Instagram or Facebook, and Gary tells them that this is the best way to call her, because he said if he were to like directly call her, she wouldn't take his calls. So the only way to actually get her to acknowledge them and acknowledge they call would be to make this post about the babies. And he said because she acts like she tries to play like she's not on their version of Facebook and or Instagram, but she really is. So they make that post, and sure enough, Kayla comes running. They inform Kayla of the true situation. They apologize to her for making that fake picture, but they needed her help to tell her that the situation for her babies and stuff are very dire. So she would because they realized that Roy tried to confess his feelings for Kayla, but Kayla looks at Roy like, "Are you serious? Are you telling me you really in love with me?" type look. And she's like, "Only thing I care about is the babies." So, with that, Kayla reluctantly has to help them because she realized that the legends are the only ones who knows who knows about the ship and how to get to the baby. So, reluctantly, she agrees. So, back to Spooner and Astra, they run. Thanks to Spooner, they behind this person, trying to get to know this person because this person is somebody, like I said, somebody that Spooner knows. We see Constantine being led by Bishop to where the fountain of Imperium is. He thinks the fountain of Imperium is dried up, but and they got there too late. But Bishop assures them that they actually didn't get there too late. They actually got there right on time because he could he explains that the mushrooms are actually alien in origin, and that the mushrooms is this field of mushrooms is a signal that these are actually alien beings. And he constantly makes a joke about the fact that so when people be eating mushrooms, we're actually eating aliens. He said, and Bissell basically says, yeah, you're eating because the mushrooms are unique. That there's no like real earthly origins for them. And he says so therefore he reveals that that's because their origins is not from Earth. They're from even though they could grow on Earth, they're not from Earth. They're actually alien in origin. And that he said this is how he knows that we got there on time, and that this is where the fountain is. We just have to we just have to call it forth. So Constantine he said we just Bishop tells Constantine he just needs a few samples of the mushrooms and they'd be on their way, because he knows how to make Constantine pure enough for the fountain to basically accept him. Because it's revealed that the fountain of Imperium is based on this alien being that only grants the person of his choosing, that presents itself in front of it, the blessings of his power. You have to be basically pure heart to the point of an innocent child, almost pure, for it to choose you. And that's what come if you haven't watched this episode. Remember that, because that's going to come in handy later on in the episode when I get to this point. While Bishop is gathering samples, Constantine hears a little girl's humming, and he goes to see and talk to this little girl. And this little girl's an important character too. I won't tell you why, but it's an important character because as Constantine is talking to her, he realizes this person has a fiery, fun, exploring like attitude, because she doesn't even this little girl is not even afraid of aliens. She thinks aliens are cool and want to actually travel the world and the universe itself. So this Constantine shows this girl magic, and he adds just to ask her, have she seen any other than the mushrooms weirdness? Has she seen anything else weird like the mushrooms or to its equivalent? And she says no. And he asked her, was she sure? And she said yes, I assure you I haven't seen anything of the such. Also, this is the second episode in a row not to have Bayrat. But yes, she assures that this would be this is basically all the things that's weird about this area. So Constantine, he goes. He basically tries to figure something else out, and this girl gives Constantine a flower, and when Constantine takes it, he gets a vision. Thanks to his powers, he gets a vision of this girl's past and future, and he realized something about this girl that's familiar, and he realized who this girl actually really is to him, and he follows the little girl to her home, where after a chance meeting with this other person, the other person, the parent of this little girl, the parent that ends up being the special person that ends up the parent of this little girl is also who took Astra and Spooner to the house. They all meet each other and realize they interrogate what John wants. John basically, a little passive aggressive interrogation, like, they like, yeah, I wonder what else somebody's doing, type stuff like that. They basically telling loose to John. John gets impatient and uses a spell and basically does something that reveals something to a certain character. Then this caused everything to go out of control. like now a certain character basically doesn't want, basically knows, this is basically a certain character knowing something, and that leads to like questionables of what should I do, what shouldn't I do, how this will affect the timeline, and basically Astra for the better part of the rest of the episode is trying to preserve the timeline because she realized if this was to change, what this person would change, if this was to change, what she would lose, or what changed about history, what would happen to Sarah and all that. Because history change. Sarah would never get saved. So they get to the ship. Sarah and them get to the ship. They find the eggs, but the door is locked. The door triggers a voice command. A voice command like recording from Bishop, who tells them that the eggs, the thing that's attached to the incubator of the eggs, is a poisonous like gas explosion that would kill all the eggs. But he gives them a chance to save the eggs. He said, we're going to play a game of 48 pickup, and he said you basically the game, all you have to do is hurry and try to get all the kids out the incubator before the explosion. And they end up successfully getting all the kids, but they realize one of the kids fell to the ground, and a certain character's fate is unknown after this, because this certain character tried to run back to get the egg, and end up getting caught in the explosion itself. The fight ensures over at the house of the people that Astra and Spooner and all and Constantine was happening, leading to decisions being made about and how to preserve the timeline. Then there's also a battle at the Fountain of Imperium where the other half of the decision for the timeline is made, and another character's fate is unknown. Now, something else happened to a different character at the Fountain of Imperium, and basically when this happened to this character, I forgot too that the rest of the legends that was left behind, since now they into the past of Texas, they end up getting to. Zari and Nate end up getting to where Constantine and Astra and this other half of this battle taking place at the Fountain of Imperium happens. Bishop ends up escaping, but besides Bishop escaping, the biggest incident in the scene is what happened to this other character as Nate, Zari, Astra watches it happen, and this character says a final goodbye. But unbeknownst to them, what's happening to this character at the Fountain of Imperium affects another character. So it's three characters' fates are up in the air. The episode ends on a cliffhanger of who fate is what. Who is all three characters alive, or all three characters dead? The fate of these three characters are up in the air, as that's the cliffhanger of the episode. So this episode was amazingly good because it revealed a ton. This episode was a ton of reveals. It revealed a person's past, the connection to it, who might be what. If somebody from the past, if somebody was sent to the past, was split in the present and sent to the past, or was a person from the past sent to the future to be protected, because that's the big mystery. Who was sent to where to be protected? Somebody, and two other people's fates are in the air. Stuff is revealed. Timelines are in jeopardy, and Bishop, getting away is also hanging over the head. So, and all with all that compiled, this episode was a perfect 10. I was entertained by this episode. This episode was was great. I had no problems with it. I loved it. Like I said, 10 big ups. That episode was good. I recommend you watch this episode just to see the things I didn't say, didn't spoil. Go watch this episode. You will thoroughly enjoy it. If you enjoy Legends of Tomorrow's and The Flash and all that, you will love this episode. Yeah, that's it. That's it for the episode. I don't know. I know tonight. I finally found out that Supergirl came back on, so I got to catch up with Supergirl. And I know Stargirl's tonight. I think Supergirl and Stargirl's tonight. So I don't know, because I also got a review. I also want to have reviews for Candyman and the Mortal Kombat Legends Battle for the Earth Realm, or Battle for the Rams. I also got reviews for them coming up too. So I don't know which is what, but I'll put it to you this way: if you see the reviews for Supergirl and Stargirl tomorrow, then what tomorrow will be Wednesday. So Thursday I will have the review for Candyman and Mortal Kombat Legends of the Earthbound. I said Legends Battle for the Rams. But yeah, I have those either tomorrow, Thursday. One of those 4 reviews will be dropped tomorrow, or 2 of those 4 reviews will be dropped tomorrow, along with Nintendo Day gameplay. Wednesday is Nintendo Day gameplay, so I'm at least have 1 video of each, along with the 2 review videos. But yeah, that's all I got. If you enjoy this review of DC's Legends of Tomorrow, then hit that button right there in the upper right corner for all of my reviews, from movies and TV shows. If you enjoy this video so much you want to support the channel, then hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and as always, hit that notification button too, so you get notified. You wanna keep coming back. I want you to keep coming back. Come back for more. I got more. I always got more for you. I'm a big guy, so I like to overshare. I want to get you full on video games and TV shows. But as always, hit any one of these videos for more of my amazing content. I am out. I'm out. See you tomorrow. Peace out, y'all.